Who are we taking next?
All right, let's take Sam Chaos.
Ooh, in England.
In England.
Sam Chaos. You're live
Hello.
with Eric and V. Hey, Sam.
Hey, Sam.
Hi, guys.
Hey,
Hello.
it's nice to talk with you.
Yeah, nice to talk with you too.
Oh,
So, what I was kind of...
yeah,
oh,
go
sorry,
ahead.
go on.
No, I was going to say, what would you like to talk about today?
Yeah, kind of figured we'd jump straight into it. So, I am a bit of a philosophy nerd, and
Ooh, we are too.
Yeah, and that's the kind of why I called in. I obviously have my opinions on this, but I was wondering how you guys go about trying to explain philosophical concepts to laymen, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I'm trying to explain the reason I think something, but it's a philosophical reasoning, saying things like, and this because Occam's razor, it's not going to help.
True. So what I usually do is I jump into the explanation of it and don't even give the technical term until after we've discussed it and have a clear understanding of it. So if someone were to say, if someone were to say, oh, my house is haunted because the door in my, pantry keeps opening, and you say, well, I disagree because Occam's razor, they're not going to get it. But if you were to say, well, let's take a look at what the likely things are that could have caused this, because often the most likely thing is going to be the answer. And so let's take a look and see just how likely each of the possible causes is. And then if they were to go, okay, and you kind of go into it, and odds are that cabinet door in the kitchen just is poorly installed. That's what's been it every single time I've had that problem. Then you could say, hey, you know what? There's this concept that is called Occam's razor, and it's something that you can apply elsewhere in your life. It's something that I do, and I think it's really fun. But by addressing the issue itself and then contextualizing the issue, you then give them an opportunity to kind of engage with it, and then you can put a name on it and kind of broaden out from there. But if you start from that super, high up place and try and zoom down, you're going to lose them.
Yeah, I think that's about where I am too.
Mm-hmm.
I was just kind of struggling with do I explain all the technical terms here?
So if you do, we might spend just a little bit of time describing them.
I mean, isn't it an Einstein quote that you know something well when you can explain it simply?
Mm-hmm.
So if you understand the mechanics of, this is what I've found with philosophy, but also in general with the way we use language, the words we use are essentially shorthand for larger concepts, right? So we can say, I need to mow the lawn, right? Not, I need to go outside and look at all those little plants. They are too long. And so I need to go and I need to find a way to cut them all so that they are even and look nice. Like, we could just say mow the lawn, but we understand what we mean by that. In the same way, when we talk about philosophy or any other body of knowledge, area of research, there's the underlying meaning of a thing, and then that's how we talk about it. So when we say Occam's razor, you and I know that shorthand, right? But someone might not know what that means, and that's fine. They might totally agree with what it means, right? If you say, hey, do you think that maybe we should look for the most likely explanation that requires the least additional preconceptions as possibly the best answer to this thing? They probably would go, that sounds reasonable to me. Well, they know Occam's razor. They just don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
So I think it's, for me personally, as a fellow philosophy nerd, it is so much fun to talk about the actual definitions and the ins and outs of everything and where this term came from and why this philosopher has a problem with it. So much fun. But when you're talking to somebody about an issue, especially if they're making some kind of fallacy, and that's something that I want to get away from doing as well, which is like, oh, well, that's the tu quoque fallacy, therefore it doesn't make any sense, and then move on.
Yeah.
Because that's not helpful to anybody.
And it's not just fallacies. Here's another example. The principle of charitable listening. If you were to say that, people will be like, what the heck are you talking about? But an example, there's someone in the live chat who said, Eric said health benefits is not a moral issue, which is 100% wrong. The principle of charitable listening would be assuming the best in your interlocutor, assuming that they are rational, and maybe they said something wrong, but if you take the worst possible view of what another person said and present that as, definitively what they said, you're not setting up an opportunity for discussion. You're just being an asshole. So, person in the chat who did that, either call in or pull your head out. But the idea that I don't view being healthy as moral is stupid. It's contextualized, right? But saying, hey, I want to give you the opportunity. We've had plenty of callers who've called in that we've disagreed with that have said something ridiculous. And instead of, jumping down their throats, we stop and we go, hey, did you mean it like this? Or let me say this back to you to see if I'm on the same page as you.
Right.
That we understand each other. And by doing that, they can get the chance to go, no, I meant it like that. Or, they actually are an asshole.
Also,
that helps better than saying, hey, principle of charitable listening, yo. Demonstrate it.
Yeah, and that's kind of the reason I called in, I guess, was I caught myself commenting the other day that something was a genetic fallacy, knowing full well the person was not interested in philosophy. It was like, oh, shit.
Yeah. The genetic fallacy, it means absolutely nothing to them. But you can be that person to have that kind of fun fact of, hey, let's engage with it, let's contextualize it, and then I can give you the name for it. And maybe after exposure to it 10 or 12 times, they might actually latch on to those philosophical names.
Also, and I'm speaking here from multiple marginalized groups. Sam, I know we share at least a couple of them. It can be a really effective way to get a little bit of authority in a conversation where you are either infantilized or dismissed, right? So there is another value to knowing. That's the genetic fallacy, right? It's not always to teach the other person. It is also to say, hold on, I know what I'm talking about. Sit your ass down for a second. It's kind of like I learned how to swing dance in college. And I learned some pretty intense moves. And one of them is when you are swinging your other partner towards you, you put your hand up and you push off into a different move. So it's this moment of taking control of the dance as the follower. And when I would go to actual clubs where they would do swing dancing, I was going to say swing clubs, but that's something else. I would dance with people who assumed, oh, this is a college kid. They don't know very much about swing dancing. And then I'd do that move and spin off into my own thing. And every single time there was a perk up of, oh, this person knows what they're doing. This is going to be fun now. And I feel like it's the same with a lot of these things where judging from the situation and who the other person is, it might be worthwhile to flaunt that knowledge a little bit just to get their attention and to have them know, I know what I'm talking about. Don't underestimate me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you give them that
makes a lot of
opportunity and
sense.
they appreciate it too. Oh my gosh, if you let them shine, they call back and you everybody enjoys it.
Yeah, people might surprise you, I guess.
Yeah.
Honestly, what we're kind of discussing here feels awfully similar to how I try and explain like concepts around gender to gender critical people. So that is something that actually this was what a words. This was useful.
Good.
Wonderful.
Good. Sam, this was really fun. It says you're a theist, and we would love for you to call back and tell us about what you believe and why you believe it, because you sound like a really fun person to talk to.
Oh boy, yeah, theist asterisk, and that asterisk is probably its own call.
Well, call us back with the asterisk. It sounds fun.
Absolutely. Or you can get involved in our Discord. We need to update the Discord link because I think the Discord link that we have is dropped.
It's kaput.
But people have they've boosted our Discord, and so I think we can have a permanent Discord link, and so we just need to get that.
Okay.
And oh my gosh.
Nice.
And then we can all talk and hang
I
out.
joined the Discord earlier today, so
Awesome.
Oh, good.
Good. Well, we are going to
Yeah.
be in the Discord after the show, so hopefully we'll see you there, Sam.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, and just because I feel the need to get another one on my SG bingo card, something androgynous cat cyborgs.
There you go.
There we go.
Love it.
Sam, thank you for following us. Take care.
All right, thanks for chatting with me.
Bye.
Bye. I like Sam.
Sam is awesome. Sam hangs out at Neil's after parties a lot of the time.
Okay.
So if you want more of Sam and also Neil's awesome international folks, head over there at some point.